Trucking can be one of the most unhealthy professions in the transportation industry. And that's really up to you. I'm not saying that just because you become a truck driver, that you will automatically, therefore, be unhealthy and you're going to have heart disease and all this other stuff going on with you. I've missed a lot of, my daughters and my sons' little celebrations and things, but I've also been there for a lot of stuff. And I found that now, a lot of you are trying to make a decision and you are doing your research, your due diligence on YouTube, getting to know different content creators in different parts of the blue collar and transportation industry. But my best advice, make a decision as soon as you can. Don't get stuck just watching because time is going to pass you by. I can't tell you how many viewers I have who just stay stuck watching and they become more and more unhappy with their life choices. Once you act, you're going to feel a heck of a lot better. You don't know without just jumping into it. But of course, yes, do your research. As a truck driver, there's definitely going to be a lot of stuff that you're going to miss. I've missed a lot of, my daughters and my sons' little celebrations and things, but I've also been there for a lot of stuff. And I found that I've been there more for them as soon as I became a union driver. Not saying that being union isn't also a sacrifice, especially in trucking, but no matter what you do, whether you're working as a longshoreman or you're a truck driver, any railroad, any part of the transportation industry is going to take a lot of your time. Now, there are other places in this transportation industry where you do get more time with your family. And what I found is you're going to have to find where you're happiest, right? Because you don't want to be miserable in the transportation industry. If you are, you're going to make not only yourself miserable, but you're going to make other people miserable. And you're going to make your family miserable because you're not going to be able to be home and be happy at the same time. So you got to figure out that if the transportation industry is where you want to be, well, is what's best for your personality type. Is it working on the railroad? Is it being a truck driver, a flight attendant, or a pilot? What's it going to be, right? Or construction and, becoming an electrician, IBEW. Like, there are so many things still to do. And yeah, automation is slowly starting to take over everything, right? But nonetheless, you got to pick something that you personally like doing. For example, for the most part, I like my job, but at the same time, of course, I wish that I was at home more. I mean, of course, and of course, I wish that this job paid more. Granted, I get paid a lot better than non-union does, but still, man, like, nobody wants to go to work every single day, right? I work 5 to 6 days a week. This week, I'm only working 4 days a week, and I did get a pretty damn good check. Now, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into how much I made for 4 days of work. But first, let's go back real quick to health. Now, you got to take your health seriously out here too, because trucking can be one of the most unhealthy professions in the transportation industry. And that's really up to you. I'm not saying that just because you become a truck driver, that you will automatically, therefore, be unhealthy and you're going to have heart disease and all this other stuff going on with you. Um, Oftentimes, as healthy of a lifestyle that you may think you have too, as a truck driver watching this right now, one of the things you have to be concerned about is um, your root, man. What I'm talking about is your reproductive health, right? Um, when it comes to, for example, a lot of truck drivers have urination issues because you're sitting so long, your bladder becomes weak. Because you're moving less, your prostate can also become weak, and you can develop, erectile issues. You develop from there, and bladder issues and kidney issues stems from this job right here. So you got to make sure that, especially if you're the type of driver that's going to have to be running constantly, that you're doing squats, you're eating right. You are what you eat out here for sure. In life in general, you are what you eat. But especially when it comes to this profession right here, understand that urinary issues are probably going to become the norm for you. So if you're not staying as active as you possibly can out here, understand that it can get super serious out here. And that's why I'm always stressing union employment when it comes to driving these trucks, because when all of the cost is on the company instead of you, the driver, you're going to be saving a ton of money in the end. Fatigue. I don't think enough drivers talk about the fatigue enough. I know that some content creators do bring it up, but especially as a road driver in LTL, what I do, the fatigue can be insane. It can be super duper debilitating. It can be very stressful. So when you're dealing with these conditions on the road, drivers that, get in your way, that aren't going fast enough in the hammer lane, that are, you know, now all these trucks, right? They're going the same speed, basically. They're governed at the same speed. All this stuff compounds and gets more frustrating to add on top of your fatigue. So you have to really be able to keep a level head more so now than before, because fatigue is something else, you guys. It's one thing, it feels super healthy when you're out there playing soccer or football, or you're working a laborious job that requires you to move, right? Your body's moving. That automatically de-stresses you. Working out automatically de-stresses you. Sitting in a truck for 12 plus 14 hours a day is one of the most mentally breaking things that you can possibly do. And especially if you've got, any conditions like ADHD or something that requires you to have to be moving constantly, then I suggest that you keep your mind busy with things other than conspiracy theories, even though they're fun and we like to listen to those things on the road, of course. In fact, I might make a video about some things that I listen to on the road. Comment below on some of the things that maybe you listen to. But you have to keep your mind as calm as possible. Work on breathing techniques, okay? In your nose, out your mouth. I'll do a video on that. I'm going to make this video way too long if I do that. But one of the things that I like to do when I'm driving, especially when I am just super fatigued, is I like real fast, and then I'll relax. Make sure that my shoulders, I slump my shoulders, and I make sure that I release all the tension in my neck and in my shoulders. And when I breathe in my gut and I release. Like, I do a combination of these breathing exercises because I'm telling you, the fatigue will get to you out here. The fatigue can kill you. Time, day after day, year after year, doing, especially as a, performing, especially as a road driver out here, is going to take a toll on you, man. Definitely have an exit plan in this trucking game. You don't want to do this for 20 plus years. If you got into this early on, make sure that you get as much money as you can. You buy your home, you get yourself, a good rate, and make sure that your mortgage is set at an amount that allows you to be able to take a hit and pay so that you can go and get training in some other field. Because I don't recommend doing this for 20, 30 plus years. In fact, I don't recommend working a damn job for 20, 30 plus years. No matter what you're doing out here, if you can, and you can get, dude, a social media following can be one of the healthiest things that you can possibly do. To be able to get out there, like I'm going to be doing very soon, is going to Russia and visiting with my buddy Marcelo, American Sputnik. You guys have probably seen a couple of our live streams, but I plan to take my channel in that direction. And I've been thinking about that and trying to bring that into fruition, and I've been praying over it. And I believe that something like that is right up my alley. It's easy for me to get along with people. And for you, sometimes, often people will tell me, I'm not a people person. I can't get on social media. There's other ways to make money on social media other than being a presence, right? There are faceless YouTube channels out there. There are faceless Instagram pages that make money through advertising, right? There's a lot of stuff that you can do now where you don't have to be shackled down to a job or career. You can make marketing yourself or helping other people market their programs, what they got going on, into something that can free you from the shackles of a job, of a career. Now, I'm not saying that you can't work a career and love what you do. There's a lot of people that love what they do out here, but there's a lot of people out here that hate what they do.